Hi, this is Danny Faulkner. I'm the astronomer at Answers in Genesis, a creation apologetics ministry in northern Kentucky, suburban Cincinnati. I'm outside now in front of the Johnson Observatory. This is our observatory we have on the grounds of the Creation Museum. And we're going to step inside and look at some telescopes. Let me get the door. We have a fine collection of telescopes here, and I wanted to talk to you this morning a little about telescopes. There are two basic types of telescope. One's called a refracting telescope. That's because it has a lens that refracts or bends light. This is an example of a refracting telescope. There's a lens up here, and it collects light from what you're wanting to look at, shines the light down here, brings it to a focus, and right here, I would take this plug out and put in what we call an eyepiece. That's a magnifier that makes the image look larger. So we use this quite a bit. We have stargazer nights here at the observatory. Perhaps if you and your family come up to visit us, you could take part in one of these programs. We also have daytime programs if it's sunny, looking at the sun. But we have special filters, by the way, for this look at the sun. Do not attempt looking at the sun by yourself. It's very dangerous. You need special equipment, so never try this unless you have that and know what you're doing. So we have the eyepiece goes down here. We use this telescope a lot by looking at the planets. This is a telescope really well made for planets. Telescopes come in different sizes. We measure the size by the diameter or width of the lens on the top. This is a 5-inch telescope, so it's got a lens 5 inches across on the front. The bigger the lens, the more light you collect, the brighter things will appear. Remember, in astronomy, we're looking at some very faint things. And also the sharper detail, how much better you can see these things. Now, the other type of telescope is called a reflector, and it has a mirror, sort of like the makeup mirror your mother might use. It's a concave, it's got a little bent a little bit, so it's cup-shaped, and it collects light and forms an image. And I will show you a reflecting telescope right here. And I'll have the cameraman look down that, and you will see at the bottom there is a mirror down there. And you may notice the camera and the cameraman are a little magnified by looking down at the bottom. It's always fun to watch people when they look down this thing. Now, the light comes back up, and there's a small mirror up here at the end, and that mirror sends the light out to the side where there's a tube for an eyepiece. We put an eyepiece in there, and that magnifies the image as well. You generally have to put these on a mount. The mount for this one's over in the back corner, and the mount for this one, of course, it's attached to it right there. This is called a reflecting telescope because it has a mirror that reflects light to form an image off that curved mirror. And reflectors are measured their size the same way. Their mirrors are this happens to be a 6-inch telescope, which is one of our smaller ones. Again, the bigger the diameter, the more light you get, the brighter things appear, the more fine detail you can see. Our biggest telescopes we have at the observatory are two 16-inch telescopes. One is here and one is there. And they have, behind me over here, and they have a large mirror on the bottom. That diameter is 16 inches across. I'm not going to take the covers off to show you. We keep them covered to keep them clean. But if I took them off, you'd see a big mirror almost 1.5 feet across. I also keep a personal telescope in the back. You really can't see it. That's a 20-inch reflector. We have a number of other telescopes we use here as well. Again, I would invite you and your family to come visit us after COVID-19 isolation ends and we can reopen. But certainly by summer, we hope to be open. And hopefully you and your family can come and spend a couple of days with us, and maybe you can see the observatory as well.